Hello. Real quick, I just want to say if you clicked on this video, thanks. You're the one person on this planet who gives a flying fuck what my dumbass has to say. Anyway, let's get into the video.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit!
Okay, so since clearly none of you give a flying fuck what I have to say about Persona 3 coming to modern consoles, I figure why not try something a little different. Predictions. Now obviously I'm not some magical wizard who can see into the future. I have no fucking idea what Persona 6 is gonna be like. I don't even know if there's gonna be a Persona 6, so this video is just speculation and what I personally want to see out of this game, should it ever happen. But before we continue on, I just want to ask one simple question. Do you like mobile games? Me neither, but there is actually one I like, and that's Raid Shadow Legends. Just kidding, all mobile games are shit, this video isn't sponsored, let's continue. Now I'm not gonna claim to be some Persona expert, there's only one I've finished, and that's Persona 5. Twice. But I've at least tried out most of the others briefly, so I know some things about the games, and I know what I would like to see out of a potential sequel. Now first and foremost, what I would like to see out of a Persona 6 is the option for a female protagonist. Something we haven't seen before or since Persona 3 Portable. Not only that, I also wouldn't mind seeing same-sex relationships finally be a thing, because up to this point that has never been a thing in Persona. I mean, like, could you imagine a bisexual female protagonist in Persona 5? Now, whether or not that's to appeal to my own personal fantasies, I cannot confirm nor deny. But at the same time, you gotta admit, Persona games are just a little too strict when it comes to who you can and can't date. I mean, I ain't gay, but I can think of plenty of people who would have loved to be able to date Yusuke in Persona 5. Like, okay, perfect waifu, 10 out of 10. Hell, while you're at it, go the Undertale route and have a non-binary protagonist that flirts with anything with a pulse. I don't care. But in all seriousness, are gender options in same-sex relationships too much to ask? I'm tired of these Persona games being so goddamn restrictive. Give me options. I want options. Now on to the next thing. Dungeon design. And this is where things might get a little bit divisive. See, I'm sure there's people out there who like the more dungeon crawly aspects of the older Persona games, which I have gotten used to, but all in all, I'm not really much of a dungeon crawler guy myself. I definitely prefer the much more linear design of Persona 5's palaces. But I do think that that game in particular did have a really good compromise in that regard, because of course, you know, you've got the more linear palaces, but then Mementos, I think, was made specifically to appeal to the people who like the more dungeon crawly aspects, since that is a very dungeon crawly area. But obviously it's not like the main meat and potatoes of the game, at least in my opinion. The main meat and potatoes was the palaces, and then, like, obviously Mementos played a really big role, and you had to go there and do things there, but I don't know, it just kind of felt like a side thing to me and not like the main thing, you know? Like, I don't know about you guys, like, randomly generated rooms just really aren't my thing. But I know there are people who would probably prefer that type of design, and that's perfectly fine. So I don't know how they could appeal to both sides with that. And I don't know what they would plan to do with that. I don't know if they would plan to have it be all randomly generated rooms like 3 and 4, or if they would go to the more linear route and just, you know, once again have a little side area that has the more randomly generated design philosophy and the, you know, more dungeon crawlery aspects that some people have probably come to love out of Persona. I don't know. I suppose maybe one thing they could do is, like, have an option, like, basically before you start the game, have an option to be like, okay, do you want randomly generated rooms, or do you want the game to be more linear? Like, that would be cool, you know? Because having options for different types of players is actually a really good idea. But I don't know how much effort that would take and how long the game would take to put out a result. I mean, as is, Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games already take a while to come out, but hey, take all the time you need to make a game that's, you know, closer to perfect. I mean, we'll wait. I'll wait. And then we come to the subject of how long the game should be. Oh boy. So, you know, this is funny coming from someone who played Persona 5 twice, but I'm not really a fan of, like, super long games. So I feel like for the next one, I don't know, I really wouldn't want it to be any longer than, like, 50 hours. That's pretty much my limit right there, in most cases, except in the, you know, case of Persona 5, because for some fucking reason, I just was obsessed with that one, but other than that, like, 50 hours is pretty much my limit. And if you want to make the game longer, save that for when fucking Persona 6 Platinum or whatever comes out. Like, fucking make, I don't know. I don't know what they would have to do to cut down on the time. Like, one of the things that makes Persona games as long as they are is the fact that you don't just go straight from one area to the next. There's a lot of downtime, there's a lot of emphasis on, like, social shit, so I don't know how they would be able to make the game shorter while also still having a lot to do in that regard, but I don't know, I'm just not a patient person, so I don't know. I just really don't want another fucking, like, 100-hour game. And I especially don't want it to be longer than that, but that's probably what would end up happening, and that's, I don't know about that one. Combat-wise, I'm not sure how they could really improve. I mean, Persona 5 is... it's honestly, like, damn near perfect to me. Like, in terms of the combat. Like, I swear that game has, like, my favorite turn-based battle system. Because admittedly, I'm not really a turn-based guy. I've dabbled in turn-based RPGs. I like them to an extent, and if they have a good enough story, I'm willing to, you know, suffer through it. But Persona 5 actually had genuinely really good combat. Like, honestly, fan-fucking-tastic. Like, just so satisfying. It's so satisfying to, like, take advantage of the enemy's weaknesses and, like, knock them down, and then, like, when you have them in a fucking hold-up, do the fucking all-out attack to just obliterate the ever-living fuck out of them. Like, it's good stuff, man. It's good fucking stuff, so yeah, I don't really know how they could improve on that. I have no fucking idea how they could improve on that, but I don't know. Take that combat system, I don't know, I guess polish it up a little more. It's not to say it was unpolished, but I'm sure there's something they could do to improve it, but I sure don't know what. I'm not an expert on game design, so don't ask me. Also, keep the negotiation system. That is, like, one of the best things about these games, in my opinion, is being able to talk to the monsters and recruit them by, you know, smooth talking them or whatever. Like, good stuff. I'd hate to see them remove that again. I don't know why Persona 3 and 4 did away with that, because it's a really good system. Like, you know, the system they replaced it with, like, wasn't bad or anything, but the negotiation system is it's just objectively better in my... Well, I say objectively better in my opinion. That statement literally makes no sense. Yeah, moving on. Anyway, I think that about covers all the bases. I understand this probably wasn't the best video out there, and I'm sure somebody else has made a Persona 6 speculation video way fucking better than this, but I just kind of wanted to give my own thoughts and what I would personally like to see out of Persona 6 if they ever make one. When they make one, because I'm sure they will make one. But yeah, if you watched the video, thanks. Appreciate it, and I would love to see your thoughts in the comments and what you would personally like to see out of a Persona 6, should there ever be one. This is the Gothic Gaming Geek signing out. Have a good one.
Damn you, I will not be ignored!